Let's watch the video. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fine. So let's see what Reggie decided to do this time. Definitely it'll be okay.
Hey people, Anthropomorphic Green Slime Drop here. I recently released a video on...
That was such a good time. You said hi back to Reggie. Good job. Chat continues to be perfectly timed with the reactions.
Warhammer, and it did very well. Naturally, I thought the best way to keep this momentum going would be to make a video on a game that released 10 years ago and has a peak player base of about 14. Whether this is
Yeah, that sounds perfectly sane to me. Yeah, I don't see an issue in that logic. I think this is the perfect way of doing things. If something works, do something completely opposite. Yeah, makes sense.
Self-sabotaging behavior or raw artistic passion, even I don't know. Regardless, we're playing Gnomoria. What is Gnomoria?
Yeah,
Simply
what is
put,
it?
It's Dwarf Fortress for people who are too intellectually bankrupt to play Dwarf Fortress. So basically...
Well, what is Dwarf Fortress, guys? Please explain, people in chats. Rimworld without grapple... Wait, grapple what? Oh, graphics. OG Rimworld with pixel graphics. Rimworld but old. You know what? That sounds perfectly more than I need. Wasn't Dwarf Fortress a hyper difficult colony manager? Rimworld with dwarves. Perfect. That's all I need to know. It's the most complex and autistic game ever. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. With more autism. I didn't know that that's possible. Okay, noted that there is more autism than with Rimworld. Lol, noticed.
Me. You take command of a small group of gnomes on a mission to establish a thriving kingdom.
Wait,
but in
this
your way
kinda looks
stands
cute.
famine, zombie outbreaks, goblin invasion, and of course, your own stupidity.
Wait, no, this kind of looks cute. Why does it look so cute? If it's extremely difficult, why do I feel like it's just putting you in the sense of, oh, this game is cute, you want to try it? I'm not gonna touch it.
Maybe you will create a battalion of musket men to rip apart your enemies, or maybe you will forget to clean up your dirt piles and accidentally create an animated dirt golem that crushes your...
Wait, you know what? That kind of reminds me of Dawnstarve, because in Dawnstarve, if you cut too many trees, a tree man will appear and either very actively try to kill you, or just like kind of hang around. Depending on which one you spawn. So I see that this is the same. Okay.
Trachea and causes you to suffocate, because that happened to me a lot. Well, there's only one way to find out, but first, a word from our sponsor. Raid Shadow Legends is back, helping me fend off starvation for at least another month. Today, we're talking about Raid's new limited series, Call of the Arbiter. It's a collection of 5-minute animations that provide insight and lore into Raid's characters and world. You can watch it in-game or on YouTube, and new episodes drop every Thursday. Each episode has millions of views and plenty of positive feedback, and I won't lie.
Wait. Plenty of positive feedback. From whom? I have never heard of positive feedback about Raid Shadow Legends. I have never heard about it. Colony sims always get you this way. Looks cute and simple, and the next thing you know, you have 2k hours played. I do not look at my only hours played, okay? We don't talk about how many hours I was playing Oxygen Not Included. Or how many hours I have played in Dawnstarve. We don't look at that. Do you know what your next Warhammer campaign will be, Tori? Torfs. Yes, Torfs. From the voice in the Raid devs' heads, of course. Yeah, they they have those.
I was skeptical. I thought, this is going to be some silly diaper baby animation for children, but it's actually pretty good. In fact, within the first 60 seconds, I saw a man being eaten alive by an armored pig, and I thought that was very cool. To celebrate the premiere of these episodes, Raid is releasing new champions, extra lore, and several in-game events, so it's a great time to try.
How much do we want to bet that the lore is constantly like, how do you say, like, when it when it contradicts itself? How much do we want to say that currently the Raid Shadow Legends lore is so convoluted, like 40k, where it contradicts itself at every point? I feel like that's the thing at this point. Holy heck, I cannot believe it. Me neither, dude. I can't believe my eyes.
Out the game. In fact, just for logging in for 7 days between now and July 24th, you can get Artak. He's an axe-wielding maniac who
look at this
moonlights as
boy.
a professional accountant. And if you've never played, you can also use my link in the description or scan my QR code for 200,000 silver and all of this. Look at that.
No,
Even
I
better,
want the
you'll
cool
get a
boy.
freaking epic champion, Knight Errant. Very
He
cool.
doesn't look so
Thank you,
epic,
Raid.
though.
Now, back to the video. Here we are, a confused mixture of blue-collar gnomes with an intense desire to
Lord.
not
Wait, why blue-colored? I don't see blue colors around them. White color means office worker. Oh, I get it. Blue color means they work with hands. Blue color are the handymen and stuff. Oh, it makes sense. Okay, I get it.
not be killed by dirt golems. It's time to design our base, and we have a few potential options. We could submerge ourselves deep underground and become mushroom farmers. However, then we'd have to contend with zombies, skeletons, and a literally infinite amount of beetles. We could stay above ground, but then we'd be raided by goblins several times a month. Final option, we encase ourselves in a 10-foot thick wall of cement and live out our days as antisocial otakus. That actually...
Wait, how? But you have only one cow. You would need more cows for that plan to go. I'm certain it would need more cows to work, right?
It works great until the goblins come back with shovels, tunnel into your base, and stab you to death. This is a lesson every Gnomoria player has.
Oh damn! These are very smart gobos, guys. I'm now afraid. Reggie's a bit loose in the head when it comes to planning. Yeah, I can see that. That didn't work very well for him, as I see. Never heard of Parthenogenesis cows? You just used a very difficult and very weird word that no, I don't even know what that means.
Has had to learn the hard way. As far as I can tell, the only option is up. You see, gravity works sometimes in Gnomoria. Rain falls, people fall, but floating islands of dirt do not fall. Very interesting. Hypothetically, if we could create...
Okay, so I understand. So this is a Minecraft gravity type. Okay. Parthenogenesis. Asexual reproduction. So it's like bacteria? It just clones itself? No, I've not heard of such cows. Damn, that's a very high-tech cow. Like orcs! They're cows are mushrooms! Cows are mushrooms? Damn, bruh.
A space elevator all the way to low Earth orbit, we could haul dirt up from the surface and construct a massive platform of land floating hundreds of feet in the sky. Following this, we simply deconstruct our fancy ladder, and our base would be impossible to reach, thus making us immune to attacks from sexually aggressive ogres and
Except what if they have bows? What if these gnomes or goblins are very smart and they get bows? Yeah, I don't know. What if they have like rocks and they can throw the rocks? Also, again, how do you eat? They are enslaved elves? True. There are gobbles, but gobbles can have like those little rocks, like slings. Oh, yeah, gobbles can have slings, right? And like throw rocks. That would work, I think. Maybe. Or they can sling themselves up. Oh! No sisters of gobbles here, damn it!
Territorial carpenter ants. If we plan it correctly, we'll be able to sustain ourselves on farmed grains, livestock, and apple trees. Basically, it's utopia, and I am 100% positive that absolutely nothing will go wrong.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which suggestions or warnings about events to come are dropped or planted.
We begin.
No, nothing will go wrong, guys. Nothing will go wrong. It's gonna be perfect. That's the elves. I'm sorry. Goblin dupe diver, come on down. Everything will no potato. Everything will be fine.
With the basics, chopping some trees, planting some crops, and
Very
creating
useful,
a giant stockpile of random garbage. This will be our staging area, our launch pad even. I've gone ahead and surrounded it with walls, and the only way in will be through a mountain tunnel filled with stone doors. Rather than developing a well-rounded society, we will be specializing all of our gnomes into gathering and construction, because we are in a race against the clock to complete our sky fortress before the goblins goblins start systematically beating us to death. Prior to our ascension, we'll need renewable sources of food and water. The best way to manage this is by establishing aerial strawberry patches and high-altitude yak farms. However, living in the sky changes the dynamics of the game substantially, because in the sky, there is a profound absence of absolutely anything. This makes basic building materials such as stone highly coveted, because you can't exactly mine up here. And in an interesting turn of events, perhaps the most valuable resource of all.
Is everything in this game just a UI? So you literally just freaking drop down list everything what you want to do? Oh my god, this is beautiful. You cannot deceive me, you trickster. You'll see, it's gonna be perfectly fine. I'm sure Reggie will manage.
All is dirt, because without it, we can't grow anything. Given this, I started a large-scale strip mining operation to stockpile industrial quantities of dirt and precious metals. I even managed to find a handful of emeralds and sapphires, which will be helpful later in the game. While the mining was underway, I started designing our space elevator. Given our modest building materials, I decided to just make a 1x25 ladder of scaffolding straight into the skybox. You can't even see the ground from up here, and God help you if you slip, because...
Okay, what I would do in that case, I wouldn't be deconstructing the whole ladder. I would deconstruct like few pieces, and I would go down sometimes, building those few pieces back up to grab whatever I need when the goblins are not there. Yeah, unless they never despawn. That would be a problem. But yeah, very safe looking. Yeah, perfectly looking. Honestly, drop down menu for all actions really helps to learn. Ooh, really? Tactics, yeah!
Fall damage is exponential, and it becomes lethal after about 10 feet. With the ladder to heaven now complete, we need to begin the process of creating our floating platform. I laid out some very basic blueprints,
why so many
and the builders
letters?
began hauling the dirt up the ladder and forming the foundations of our castle. I'm thinking agricultural wing, industrial, residential,
that's a huge
and storage.
castle.
You might be concerned about the structural integrity of this design, but I'd like to reassure you that I have absolutely no qualifications to be doing this, and I do not care if literally everyone here dies. But that's beside the point. We still have a lot of work to do, and our complete lack of basic amenities has caused our gnomes to become so exhausted they've started falling asleep in the middle of the day standing up.
How can you get more of them? That's my question.
Starting to feel bad for them, so I compromised by filling a pitch black room with cold hay and calling it a communal sleeping area. By this point,
no, that
things were
doesn't sound
going great.
good.
We had a sawmill producing plenty of planks, our gatherers were stockpiling an abundance of seeds, and our yaks had even started mating and producing milk. Which is when this happened. An invasion of 3 goblins had been spotted near the entrance to our mountain tunnel. Luckily, only one of them has a sword, and our schizophrenic collection of doors should slow them down. But we need to mobilize the militia fast. Fortunately, I know just the trick.
How
I drafted
the doors
literally
slow
everyone
it down?
into the military and gave them the following perk. By using this, we can effectively upgrade our group of homeless people into violent homeless people, because Way of the Gnome dramatically increases the attack speed of gnomes who are unarmed. This combat boost effectively turns 1 gnome into 2, and 9 gnomes into 18. I don't know if you've ever fought 18 people at the same time before, but it is a generally unpleasant experience. With the welcoming committee now formed, they set out to conduct a series of gang initiations upon our visitors. The goblins didn't even make it through the front door before 6 of the gnomes had already engaged them with a flurry of punches and kicks. We were outputting so much raw violence that within the first 30 seconds, the main goblin's health
Oh my gosh, wait, what? Liz swings with her birch log at the goblin, hitting the lower body, smushing the skin and smushing the abdominal muscles. The heck is this? Well, if it doesn't open, they have to break it. Oh, they don't know how to open doors. That makes sense. I wish I can get us in the sky. Well, see when the mommy gnome and daddy gnome love each other very much. There are kids in this game? Oh no, that doesn't sound good. Small on small violence. How many 7-year-olds do you think you can take down in a fight? I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
This was as follows. The goblin is bleeding from his lower body. The goblin has seriously injured his right eye, upper body, right leg, right foot, left leg, mouth, right arm, and left hand. Oh, and the goblin has fallen over. The first 2 goblins died of collapse.
Not the goblins! Thank you for the headbutt. No kids, just senior gnomes. They're small. They're just very small gnomes.
Lungs and violently exploded rib cages, which might sound horrific until you realize what happened to the last one. Like some kind of rabid dog, Kimosabe gnawed his way through the goblin's chest and literally ate his still beating heart. In case it wasn't clear, the goblin did not survive.
Pick a side, Tori. I don't want to eat a... Why eat a beating? The heck? Who wrote this game? Does Gnome be hardcore? You didn't even play Greenskins yet? No. Do they eat beating hearts? Is that what happens there? Oh my goodness.
I think we should keep an eye on that guy. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's at
I
this
think
point
so.
I started to panic a bit, because as funny as it is curb stomping the early game goblins with my psychotic gnomes, it becomes a lot less funny when they start showing up with heavy armor and battle axes. I was rushing to collect enough building and farming materials, and
Oh, so basically it's very similar to RimWorld in that regard, where the difficulty of the enemy scales up and they do get better and better items to fight you, or equipment. Remember, rabbits are vegetarian. Yes. Battle logs in my goodness, Gnomoria and Dwarf Forces are super fun to read. I don't know if that's fun to read. RimWorld and this game were both inspired by Dwarf Fortress. I see.
I had even started planting most of my sky crops, because we're not just racing against the goblins, we're also racing against the winter. And if we don't have enough food stockpiled by then, we won't have to worry about being decapitated with battle axes, because half of us will be dead and the other half will be cannibals. Only a few things really happened.
Okay, I do not like that I understand his point.
In this mad dash. 1. I mined at least 8,000 dirt blocks and made a single man carry them up 100 feet of scaffolding using a wheelbarrow. 2. Our yaks left the settlement because I wasn't paying attention. And 3. We were attacked by more goblins. This time the fight was a little less favorable, but it was still very entertaining. Because the wheelbarrow guy showed up out of nowhere and started beating the goblins mercilessly with the wheelbarrow. But unfortunately, they did manage to kill 2 of our gnomes before we finally pummeled them into a state of complete cell death. I decided it was time for us to get the hell out of here, and so we hauled the final supplies up the space elevator and sealed off the base. It is now time for us to lift off. However, there's one issue. Someone has to stay behind to deconstruct the scaffolding. I chose Kimosabe because I was worried he might become violently insane and start eating people's hearts again. Anyway, everyone climbed up the elevator, and Kimosabe made the ultimate sacrifice by deconstructing the bottom piece of scaffolding.
Deconstruct
this caused
from
every
the
piece
top.
of scaffolding to collapse at the same time,
and it collapses. So you cannot actually like build it back up. My whole plan of leaving like half of it or so, or like few of them destroyed and the rest built, has just been destroyed by the fact that it collapses. Okay, noted.
which culminated in my game crashing. I loaded it back up and successfully managed our launch without further issue. Kimosabe died 4 days later of dehydration despite being surrounded by oranges. You know, now that I think about it, we probably could have just deconstructed the scaffolding from the top.
Okay, never mind. You can deconstruct it on top. He just did not thought about it. My plan was much more sound than his. Never mind. I am the smart one here. I knew it. I'm smart. Reggie planned. The colony is now safe, and we leave the goblins with a made predator. No, he's dead now too, but it's okay. I'm not feeling so stupid anymore about myself and my idea. Bunny smart, exactly.
Oh well, life in paradise is now well underway. You may be thinking, Reggie, we've done it. We've created something floating in the sky. Challenge complete? Well, kind of, but not really. Right now, our kingdom is worth about 4,000 value. For reference, the real-life equivalent of 4,000 value is something like a power drill that has been soaked in piss. So I'm setting a goal for us to reach, let's say, 100,000 value. Then we can finally consider this a real sky utopia, and our challenge will be complete. To increase our value, we need to acquire more things. We are the sum of our parts, and right now, our parts are mostly dirt, which has a value of 0, and strawberry seeds, which have a value of 1. In
That's
fact,
not
most
good.
things have a value of 1. Now, I really don't want to have to farm 100,000 strawberries.
Yeah, that
so
would be a
instead,
lot of
we're
strawberries.
going to focus on the fine arts, such as jewelry and sculpting. These are high-value items, and when
And he has apple trees, so he can have wood. Ooh, smart.
placed in our Great Hall, it doubles their worth. So we got to work
Ooh.
producing them. Well, a few of us did. Once the
Yes.
base construction was complete and the seeds were planted, 90% of our population was effectively unemployed. They spent most of their time standing around and rapidly phasing in and out of existence
Oh,
at
no.
the dinner table. A real crisis of meaning if I've ever seen one. Maybe life's hardships are the necessary
I was about to say that his colony seems like mine in the world when everyone is a farmer, but never mind. I guess they are not a farmer.
contrast which enables us to enjoy our successes, and without that we're just effortlessly shambling from one day to the next in an unfulfilling malaise. Nah, that's definitely not it. Anyway, I decided to try to keep the gnomes busy with some fun activities. For example, we opened a butchery where I took the goblins from earlier.
I don't know if butchery is equivalent of fun, but whatever floats your boat, man.
Process them into sausages and use the diplomacy screen to send them back to their home kingdom as a gift. Naturally,
Why?
this infuriated the goblin kingdom, but
This is not like RimWorld when they are getting happy that you send them hats made out of their own skin. They actually know that it's a goblin sausage? Damn! They are smarter. They are smarter. Everything is someone's hobby? Okay. Okay, that's true. They're playing musical chairs, that's all? Yeah, exactly. They're just playing musical chairs.
short of them developing Zeppelin technology, I really don't care. Months passed, and by the middle of summer, our kingdom value had approached 7,500.
Ooh,
This
nice.
attracted new gnomes attempting to join our Sky Society. Obviously, they weren't getting in, and after a few days of being
To be completely honest, he could get them in by building an additional ladder if he decided to, and then reconstruct it from the top instead of the bottom, so he actually can access the bottom, but that's okay.
stuck on the ground like some kind of unascended morons. They either died of thirst or were eaten by grizzly bears. But that's
Oh.
okay, because we can't even see them from up here. And in fact, much like
Well, these gnomes seem quite insane, so butchering could be fun for them. I mean, true, they are not the most sane ones. And gnomes, leprechauns. Oh my gosh.
some kind of cartoon supervillain, our sky castle is actually blocking out the sun and rain
Ooh.
for about 25% of the map.
Oh, no.
The only issue was I forgot to bring a sewing needle, which makes it impossible for us to manufacture anything at the tailoring bench. No big
Wait, how do you make a sewing needle? You can't, like, make it? Oh, you probably need iron, and iron is in the ground, and he has no ground. Never mind, I think I solved it.
deal. That only includes clothing, beds, and bandages. Personally, I've always
Just.
preferred bleeding to death, so it's all good. It was about the
Yeah,
middle
yeah,
of
yeah,
fall.
it's fine.
Farming season was wrapping up, and we were sitting on a stockpile of over 400
Nice.
strawberries. The industrial wing was still a giant mess, but it was improving, and most importantly, everyone was alive and well. Until this
Yeah,
happened.
they're all
What
farmer.
the fuck? I'm honestly speechless.
The goblins are smart. They actually built a ladder up. Wait, no. They made a tunnel to How did they do that? People used to make needles out of bones. True, they did use... How did they... I know that they can make, like, a tunnel, but did they, like, actually made a ladder up? Or is it games that fuck you and magic?
Currently, goblin engineers can not only tunnel through dirt and stone, they can also tunnel through quantum space, because they just made a tunnel through the sky and into the middle of my base. So essentially, this
It's literally like, hello. Wait, so he literally just... No, the goblins made, hello, motherfucker. They believe warp technology at its finest.
means we are playing with all of the
Surprise, motherfucker.
disadvantages of living in the fucking sky, and absolutely none of the benefits, because the
Yep.
goblins can just show up whenever they want. This is great. No, really, I love it. I put on a brave face, prepared the military, and
I
unpaused the
think
game,
his
ready
plan
to fight
just
for my life
shattered.
against the goblin menace. And then the game crashed. This wasn't a coincidence either. After reloading, I realized that 9 out of 10 times, whenever the goblins reality warped their way into my base, the game would immediately crash. I felt as though the developer was trying to punish me personally for daring to circumvent.
Yeah, it's like the developer, you're trying to play the game not as much as I intended it to be. You're trying to avoid every curveball I throw at you. How about no? Boss, how do we get the shiny things up there? We fucking did. Who could have known that was going to happen? You know, you can make it better. Who could have known that was going to happen? One of the comments said the game crashing was the result of Gobos destroying reality by warp experiments. Yes, that's definitely what was happening there, yes.
His game design. Eventually, I was able to stabilize the game, and my reward was a goblin engineer in the middle of my base, who I exercised my frustrations on.
I think there's a lot of goblin engineers up here.
Are taken care of, but overall, this is a big problem. So let's regroup here.
Outstanding pan work. Oh, thank you, thank you, oh, thank you, oh, thank you, oh, thank you.
We are in the sky. We have no access to any resource outside of strawberries and a small amount of dirt. And at any moment, a tribe of goblins can appear anywhere in our base and attack us. Oh, and the best part is we can't even afford to make bandages because I forgot the sewing needle, right?
Yes.
Okay, you know what, Sky Castle? I think we need a little space. I'm going to make a staircase down and spend a little time on the ground level. I might go mining. Maybe I'll even hunt some lizards. But most importantly, I look forward to not having to go to sleep worrying about goblins using quantum entanglement to appear in my room at 4 a.m. and kick the shit out of me.
What do you mean?
So let's get out of here. Huh. It won't let me build scaffolding. Stairs?
Oh.
No. Ramp. Oh god. We're stuck. We can't build any kind of ladder down since there's nothing beneath us to support it, and that is really bad. Given this information, the prognosis of my colony looks something like this. If we're lucky, we will starve to death. And if we're unlucky, we will slowly be whittled down by successive goblin raids in combination with our lack of basic...
I mean, why being lucky is starvation? What? I don't understand that. The plot twists are still coming. Oh yes, he is not done, boys. Yeah, so I'm guessing, he may have not wanted to destroy the leather he did destroy.
Medicine. I knew there was a solution to this problem somewhere. I just had to do enough drugs to find it. And find it, I did. You see, at the start of every season, we tend to attract 2 or 3 gnomes who try to join
you can use them to build leather. That's what I said! I told you to do this! I told you to do this! You get the gnomes, and I told you whenever you got them that you can build additional leather to now actually destroy the top one instead of the bottom one. Are you ready?
Just been trying to drop pennies on them, but now they're our only chance at surviving.
Exactly.
If we can hold out until new visitors arrive, then hopefully we can use them to build a scaffolding ladder up to the sky to rescue us from ourselves.
It's not that simple. I'm sure it is that simple, Captain. Come on, I'm smart here. Come on.
The only thing that can really stop us is the goblins, so I opened 2 karate studios and had the entire population training literally 24/7. I spent the next few days watching our food supplies slowly dwindle while I listened to the sounds of my gnomes absolutely annihilating each other on an endless loop. Eventually, on day 9 of winter, it finally happened. The goblins came back, but this time we were ready. I want you to imagine being some kind of egghead goblin scientist. You've dedicated your entire life to this strange teleportation technology, no friends, never even touched a woman, just single-mindedly pursued this goal, knowing that one day...
This one goblin was just, they killed my son. I'm gonna find a way to get to that stupid sky castle. There will be a teleportation up there.
It will pay off. But the first thing that happens after you use it is you step into my base, get kicked in the head 24 times, and then you are processed into Vienna sausages, because that's exactly what we did to these guys.
Revenge.
Exploded heart, crushed lungs, very nice. We spent the next couple days crafting some pillars in an attempt...
They killed my son and made him into sausage!
to increase our kingdom value and attract some new visitors. And when day 1 of spring finally came around, we hit the jackpot.
Yay!
4 nomads have arrived. Now they just need to construct a ladder all the way up to us. The only issue is they didn't bring any tools, and without tools, they can't build anything at all. 20 milligrams of Adderall later, we had an updated plan. We have tools up here, axes, pickaxes, all of it. We'll just kind of drop it off the side of the platform,
you
let
can
it fall 100 feet.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't land on anyone, and then we're good. So I went ahead and
definitely
tried that.
will be
I
fine.
placed the pickaxe on a floor tile and then had
someone will fall
remove
down.
the floor. Unfortunately, this kind of shuffled the pickaxe onto an adjacent tile rather than dropping it. I was really hoping it wouldn't come to this, but this means the only way to drop the tools is to ensure that there are no nearby tiles for them to be shuffled to, which means there has to be only one tile. And if there's only one tile, then the person mining that tile has to be on that tile. Meaning that when he removes the floor, not only will the tools plummet 100 feet to the ground, but so will he. I chose Gabriel Colon because much like the Archangel Gabriel, he will be rapidly descending from the heavens to deliver a very important message.
No! This is so evil! Yep.
I placed the tools at the end of a strip of dirt and had Gabriel slowly mine his way backwards until there was only one tile remaining. Moment of truth.
Will he survive?
And success.
Nope.
Gabriel
There is
has
a fall
completed
damage.
the room temperature challenge by skydiving face first into the ground at 99 miles per hour. I'm not exactly proud of my Amazon Prime delivery tactics,
But
but
it
the gnomes
worked.
got their tools, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Over the next couple days, they started constructing a hideous staircase all the way into the sky. About halfway through, another goblin raid spawned, which I was pretty sure would be the end of this little rescue operation. But the goblins stumbled into an exceptionally aggressive monitor lizard who bled 2 of them out and scared the rest of them off. With that stroke of luck, we were able to complete the staircase to heaven, thus connecting the glorious sky people to the dirty, filthy, disgusting, subhuman ground peasants once more. I don't know if I should be impressed or embarrassed that I managed to accidentally put myself in a skyblock challenge and solve it all within a matter of a few hours, but here we are. Now don't be mistaken, we're still living in the sky, but we just need an accessible pathway into our base for the goblins. This way they won't have to crash my game every 5 minutes with their negligent misapplications of
that's what he's
physics.
doing.
So what's the plan for defense? Well, pretty much the only thing we have going for us is that we are at a high altitude. So I've decided to spend my entire military budget on developing new and unique ways to push people off ledges. And from there...
What if he would like build a staircase to like 1 tile floor, and then whenever the goblins spawn, you just destroy that 1 tile and let the animals chomp the goblins? Or even they can come up the stairs and then you just shoot at them because they can't really like get to you because the 1 tile is missing. That could work, right? It's right? Badass lizardy. Although maybe, yeah, I think that could work. I don't know if he has ranged weapons though. That is a question I do not know the answer to. Does this game have ranged weapons? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's the issue.
The fall damage will do the rest. To this effect, I've created a new type of soldier. They're basically just a normal gnome, but they have a tower shield that covers their entire body. Their only purpose in life is to encounter goblins on this 1 tile wide bridge and slam that shield against the goblin's head as hard as humanly possible, hopefully knocking them off the bridge and to their death. Now that our base is accessible and secure, we can also host diplomats from other kingdoms, and if they like what they see, they'll send a merchant for us to barter with. The diplomat arrived and he needed a room to stay in, so I gave him our penthouse suite. Technically, there is a dead body in the bed, but I'm really
don't worry
banking on
about
him
that
not
one.
noticing that. Another thing I'm hoping he doesn't notice is the goblins that are currently having their skulls caved in on the bridge just
Don't
beneath
worry
his
about that
room,
one
because
either.
we
It's okay.
have just been attacked again, but thankfully...
New prestige class. Gnome Goblin Flinger.
The shield squad is on it. I was hoping they'd be pushing the goblins off the bridge, but instead they're pretty much just using their 90-pound shields to crush every bone in the goblins'
I
bodies.
guess it works
except for this guy. He had too much armor on, so instead they just slowly pushed him back further and further until... Nice.
Yay!
That, my friends,
It
is proof of
worked!
concept. Now it's time to get serious, because our kingdom's value is absolute garbage. In
Yeah,
fact,
it's
if you
not
asked
good.
ChatGPT to generate an image on what a kingdom with 15,000 value would look
Oh,
like, it
no.
would give you a picture of dog feces that had been hit several times with a sledgehammer. And it wouldn't be wrong. Previously, we've been increasing our kingdom value with cheap necklaces and fancy floor tiles, but it's just going too slow. And I'm not sure how much longer the colony can survive my poor planning and proclivity towards human sacrifice. So to expedite this process, we need more precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, anything
So he
I
will
can
be
use to
taken
make
again.
gaudy jewelry and artificially inflate the value of our quote-unquote utopia. I sent the gnomes back
Yeah,
into our
no.
previous
Why quote unquote? It is a utopia. It's perfectly fine and working colony. I see nothing wrong about it. Nothing is dysfunctional here. It looks perfectly good for me.
mine, which by this point had become infested with skeletons and
makes
zombies.
sense.
Fortunately, we managed to use the tower shields to form a bully circle around them and crush them like some kind of man-powered hydraulic press. Anyway, the digging continued, and we used a series of torches to reduce our risk of spawning more enemies. Eventually, we hit a large amount of malachite, which we could use for new weapons and armor. Even deeper still, at about minus 50 blocks, we lucked out by hitting a silver vein. After mining it and hauling it to the base, we managed to smelt it down and mold.
I feel like the traveling time for every gnome to grab the stuff from the mines up to the Sky Castle takes a horrendously long time.
It into a series of solid silver statues. By installing these in the Great Hall, it increased our kingdom value to about 50,000. Unfortunately, this bump in kingdom value enticed another goblin assault, and despite our new weapons and armor, the ogre they brought was literally picking people up and throwing them off the bridge. This probably goes without
that's
saying,
not
but,
good.
They didn't survive. The only good thing was that one of my soldiers used his claymore to inflict some serious bleeds on the attackers. And after they were finished tossing my entire military to their death, they decided to retreat. It's pretty clear that not only are the wheels falling off.
Dystopia, maybe. Okay, I guess. But yeah, so apparently the ogres are issue. They can throw people off. They figure out his tactics. They realize what he was trying to do and use it against him. These goblins are so smart, guys. Not only do they know how to build tunnels, they know how to traverse space and quantum space and warp and get through somehow through the sky. They also figure out what he was trying to do and use it against him. These goblins are extremely smart. I am impressed and a little bit scared.
Off the car that is our kingdom, but the engine is on fire and we're suffocating from carbon monoxide poisoning. We need more value so we can complete the challenge, delete the world, and pretend this whole social experiment never
look
happened.
at it back.
In order to achieve that, we need to go deeper and fast. I drafted the entire population into the mines.
Everybody
that might sound
go
cruel,
into the
but
mines.
much like children, their small frame and soft bones make them very effective at squeezing into small tunnels. And they shouldn't have evolved this way if they didn't want to die in the coal mines. So we went deeper, minus 70 blocks deep. Being this far underground is a lot like swallowing pills you find on the sidewalk. It's very dangerous, but also potentially very rewarding. Fortunately,
is that
we
gold?
were rewarded because I found a few gold veins running through this cavern. I mobilized my child mining company and we tunneled our
Wait. So there are tiles here.
way over and excavated everything we could. From here, we need to move fast because the next goblin assault will almost certainly wipe us out.
100%.
Luckily, we were able to melt the gold down and process it into a series of golden statues valued at approximately 5,000 points each. Following installation, I checked our kingdom worth and we had officially passed 100,000.
Yippee! Let's go, he did it! Doesn't matter. The new goblin raid doesn't matter. He did it. Let's go!
That's right, boys. Utopia has been achieved.
Yay!
Sure, there are countless dead bodies decomposing in my base.
matter.
I had to shut down all agriculture, and 90% of my gnomes are about 30 seconds from dying of thirst. But maybe that's just what paradise looks like. I mean, it's hard to argue with the numbers. Anyway, this challenge took a series of left turns that have probably caused me to develop a life-threatening aneurysm, so I am getting the hell out of here. I want to thank this month's patrons for supporting the video. Big shout out to my friend Sev for his creative input.
Well, his
and finally,
planning was
thank you for
definitely
watching. Also, big thank you to Raid Shadow Legends. You can download the game using the pinned comment below for plenty of bonus items.
I'm certain that his plan was absolutely flawless and nothing wrong about it. Everything went as expected.